Well, hello again to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching Georgia Beer Reviews. Back at you today with another one. And yes, I am joined by Mr. Bumpy Road Brewery himself again for another review. And we are pretty excited about this one. This is a almost $40 bottle. So this is one that's obviously a good beer to share with a friend or loved one. This is Delirium, the barrel-aged limited edition. That's pretty much all it says on the front of the bottle. It's family brewery. So this is from the Hugh Brewery out of Belgium. This is an imported beer from Belgium. The Hugh, Huyghhe, I hope I'm saying that right, brewery. It's been around since 1654. This is the Delirium Black Ale, aged in bourbon barrels. So,
did you say the ABV on that?
I have not yet. It is 11.5% ABV.
Cork and cage.
Cork and cage, limited edition.
G-string.
G-string. So let's go ahead and get into it.
I'm going to let you know right now, I've never had Delirium.
Anything from Delirium? Oh, well, I think you're going to be in for a treat. And it's a true Belgian beer.
I'm like a virgin tonight.
Drinking Delirium for the very first time. Okay. Here we go. Oh, by the way, this is this is a 2021 bottle. They do have other years of this. This is 2021.
Want some safety glasses? Oh boy.
Wow. You see
it's a good thing you didn't wiggle that one.
Right.
So why they call it black? Is it actually like black? It doesn't look black.
It does not. Wow, that's pretty active. I thought it was gonna. It does not look like it's actually.
It's a quad,
it's a
right?
light. I believe so. Delirium. I don't know why it says black ale on the label. It says Delirium Black Ale aged in bourbon barrels.
It's a mahogany red.
It smells.
It looks like it's like a quad.
It probably is. That's what they make mostly is quads and triples.
It's kind of reddish caramel hue at the bottom.
Wow, this is an interesting aroma.
Tight knit bubbles, bit off white, kind of slight khaki color to it.
This is a weird aroma. It has a little bit of the Belgian quad, like dark fruit notes, but it has
It's baby food, pear, and banana mixed.
It has a weird, I was going to say, like composty thing going on.
No, this is Gerber baby food.
It's strange.
It's I'm getting pear, I'm getting banana.
I am getting a little banana. The Belgian yeast strains,
Sweetness.
very typical, the banana notes to come through. Plum.
There is a strain, like it's a weird, like there's a barrel note, but it's like, what kind of barrels does this age?
Bourbon. Just says bourbon barrels.
Bourbon from Belgium.
Bourbon's an American whiskey style.
Oh, okay.
So
I get like this oakiness, but it's
yeah,
maybe a little bit hint of cherry.
this is strange. There's actually a beer from them, Delirium Red, which is a cherry Belgian ale. It's amazing, but this is not that. A little bit of spice, like a cinnamon nutmeg, or like a holiday cake note.
Yeah. Wow.
It's coming through more now. I don't know.
There's a little bit of like caramel. I get like caramel drizzle.
The dark fruit is definitely coming through now. It did smell. It's almost like it took a minute to open up, maybe because it's been in the way that it was bottled.
What year is
the
this
pressure? It's a 2021.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm getting a lot more aroma now than I was the first minute or so.
Yeah, the Gerber baby food pear and banana is dying down a little bit. It's opening up. To
There is
some
still a
other
little bit of a banana note, though. You know, like you get with a lot of the
Clove.
banana clove
Yeah.
notes that you get with a lot of the Belgian Ales. That yeast strain that they use provides that estery. That estery, is that even a word? Those fruit esters are coming through from the yeast strain that they use in this.
There's a breadiness.
Yeah, kind of like a fruit bread or a spiced
Monkey bread.
Monkey bread, yeah.
Maybe a little hint of like a brown sugar or something.
Mm-hmm. The caramel maybe kind of leads into a little brown sugar. I wouldn't go as far. I wouldn't say necessarily brown sugar, but the sweetness, like caramel, is definitely there. Why don't we taste it? By the way, nice head retention. It's been sitting. You know, it was very active with the yeast and with the carbonation. I kind of had to pour it gently because you could see that carbonation start to, or that head really start to rise. So if you're not careful pouring this, you could have a mess on your hands.
You do that swirl, it definitely reacts against the head as well. So it's nice.
So,
cheers.
Cheers. It's pretty good. Very prickly, fine carbonation.
It's carbonated.
Very highly carbonated. It's like a champagne of beer, like literally. The caramel and the dark fruit notes are coming through, but the carbonation is so lively that it kind of really makes it seem like it's almost a light beer. It doesn't drink like an 11.5 that first sip. Let me get another sip. Very prickly, very carbonated. The barrel notes are coming through kind of on the back. There's a boozy quality to it. Not a bad boozy quality, but you can tell on the finish as you swallow it down.
I get like a little bit of like French toast almost. It's like this
maple syrupy.
Well, I don't quite get maple syrup, but I get this kind of like eggy cinnamon bread type quality.
Interesting.
It's tough getting through the carbonation on this.
Yeah, it is.
It distracts so much on the palate for me.
Strangely enough, I can see where you're coming from with the French toast thing. Eggy. That's really the way to describe that. I think a lot of it has to do with the Belgian yeast because you get a funk, you get a character that
there's a candy sugar in there too.
The Belgian sugar component that you get with all these beers.
Slight cherry note.
I'm not getting cherry yet. I am getting dark fruit though for sure.
I get it slightly goes medicinal. Slightly for me, it's a slight medicinal cherry.
I'm not getting the cherry yet.
It's tail end for me.
I'm mostly getting caramel and toffee and dark fruit, and then the barrel aging, and then
alcohol, a little bit of alcohol,
and then on the finish, a little booziness, a little alcohol. But it's not a bad kind of boozy quality that you get with lesser quality beers that are just having a hard time masking the alcohol. It's a boozy quality that you get from a beer that's been aged in bourbon barrels for a while that has that depth of flavor, that character. The carbonation is honestly, I might dock it a few points for the carbonation because it's so intense that you can't get through it to taste all the flavors in the beer.
If you were to try to chug this, it would be like trying to chug a soda.
I think you would projectile vomit after about 3 glugs.
It would be like that foam action.
You would immediately have to, it would come right back up. This is definitely a slow sipper.
This is going to be one of the most carbonated beers I've had in a while.
It may be the most carbonated beer. I can't even think of. The only thing that I can think of that's on this level is like some of the seltzers that I've had.
Right.
And those are intentionally overly carbonated. But this one, even, it doesn't have the big bubble carbonation. It's like tiny little prickly carbonation that like stabs you in the back of the throat as you're trying to swallow it down.
Yeah. It does, like, to me, it just distracts off what flavor notes I might get off the tongue. It's strange.
I just got a little of the cherry. I would say like a black cherry soda. Like that, not artificial necessarily, but a black cherry candy or flavored soda, that kind of black cherry taste, which I guess I see why medicinal in a way, because it's not totally natural.
I think it's because right after that cherry, I do get that touch of alcohol.
Yeah.
Which a lot of medicines seem to
have that.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to break it down really quick, and then we'll give ratings. I don't want to go too long with these. So for me,
it's not worth $40.
It's not worth $40 for one. The bourbon notes are there, but they could be more. The carbonation distracts from everything. But once you get through that heavy carbonation, you do get a little bit of toffee, caramel, maybe a little date fig, dark fruit action in there. You get a little bit of the banana type ester, the yeast notes that present as a banana flavor.
I get that more on the aromas.
More on the aroma, but a little bit on the palate too. The finish, it's so carbonated all the way through that you really don't get a lot of flavor until after. You kind of have to let it sit in your mouth for a few seconds to release some of the bubbles and then swallow it down so you can taste everything. So more bourbon would have been nice because it is barrel aged. That's what their, claim to fame with this one is, and it's really not that barrel. I some toasted oak, a little bit of vanilla would have been nice from a bourbon barrel aged product. A little bit of vanilla. I'm not getting any vanilla. But the dark fruit is there. The typical Belgian flavors from the yeast that they use are there. It is boozy on the back end, but that's not such a bad thing. The big thing that I'm going to knock it down for is the carbonation is so ridiculously high with this. I can see
and usually with barrel aged stuff, the carbonation
well, it's the yeast. I think because it's a Belgian ale.
Is it?
They overdid it with the
Is it bottle conditioned too?
It doesn't say. It doesn't say much at all on the label. Maybe we should have done a little research on this, but it's not.
How much is left in the bottle?
A good bit.
Okay, because I was gonna, if there wasn't, you could look in and see if there's any yeast sediment in there, and then you know.
Oh yeah, there's sediment.
So it's probably also.
It could be bottle conditioned. Look at how.
That's
I poured it very, very gently, and this is the head I'm getting. All right, I'm ready for a rating. I think the body with this is really, it would almost be medium, but I feel like the carbonation gives it almost a heaviness because you can't.
It gives me, to me, it's it's lifting.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really, it dances on your tongue versus sitting on your tongue, so it kind of makes. Yeah, it's probably a medium half body, but to me it makes it feel lighter.
It feels lighter to you?
Yeah.
To me it feels...
And then you belch.
To me it feels almost heavier because of the carbonation, because it's like a rock in my gut. But I can see how you can go either way with that.
I'm saying, it's a feeling for
the
me.
The feeling in the mouth versus what it is in here.
When you drink it. Yeah.
So the negatives are overly carbonated, and it's not as barrel heavy as I would like, and it is slightly boozy, which is obviously not really coming from the barrel because there's not a ton of barrel notes. I think it's just from the Belgian style ale, the way that they brew this beer,
and for me, like medicinal,
and the medicinal black cherry kind of artificial flavor almost, black cherry, because black cherries,
it tastes like cherry cola.
Yeah, it's a weird note. I'm giving it an 89. It's a B+. It's a great beer, but if I was basing it off of price, I would never recommend this for the price point. No. If I'm going just from the flavor profile and the barrel notes and the body and all of that, to be fair, price aside, it's at least a B+. I'm gonna go 89. But that's being generous.
Appearance is really good.
Carbonation, appearance, head retention, lacing. It's got all of that.
Aroma's fairly decent. I'd probably be around, I don't know, for what it has, because you gotta look for the others, the barrel and stuff. You get a little bit of the kind of oakiness. It smells a lot like a Hefeweizen to me. Almost.
Well, and that's partially because of the yeast that they use in all of these Belgian.
But being a quad, I would expect more
Belgian, German,
more darker fruits coming through in the aromas. I would expect.
We can't even get a sip down without.
It's so carbonated. Yeah,
It really is.
I don't know. Aromas.
I can't believe
they're decent.
I can't believe I paid $40 for
I'm
an
hacking,
89.
I'm hacking down on my score.
89 beer.
2 down. Flavor. Be 6 down off that, so I'm total of 8 down. 9 down.
The more it warms, because this was in the fridge, the more that it warms, the more that the black cherry comes through too, which is not necessarily as desirable as one might think, because it puts off artificial vibes to me.
I'm at what I would give this one, probably like a 38 out of 50, right around there. Just kind of going off my head, just trying to think down. So if you want to double that up, you're in the 70, 76.
Really? So an average C beer, average beer. $40 for this bottle, folks.
Yeah.
He's harsher than I am. You guys know I'm a little bit more generous, and I couldn't give it an A. So definitely don't buy this beer unless you can get it for like $10 a bottle. Because it is a big bottle. It's a 16 plus 9.4 is 25.4 ounce bottle. So it's a large bottle. It does have some nice barrel notes. It's got the Belgian yeast goodness going on with the fruit notes, and then it's got.
But for a lot cheaper, I mean, you look at.
But you can get Delirium beers that are cheaper. The regular Delirium Tremens, which is a Tripel. Then you have the Delirium Noel, the Delirium Red, which is their cherry ale. They're all better than this. So I paid
all the Chimay.
Well, yeah, this is not on the same level as Chimay at all.
The Chimay Dubel, or the Quad. I mean, those are, and they're a lot cheaper.
Yeah,
you get, more flavor notes out of them, more enjoyable.
So, good, average, definitely not $38, close to $40 a bottle for this. So take that as you will. It's a limited release, so if you're hankering for something different, it is different. I'll give it that. It's definitely a lot different than any of the other Belgian beers that I've had recently. The Carbonation is something to behold, folks. You could
if you're going for a belching contest,
this would be
drink this
would be a good one. So 76, 88, average to good beer. Buy it if you can get it for a deal. Let us know what you think in the comments below. That'll do it for this beer review, folks.
We can round it off to an 80.
We could, well, yeah. I mean, you could say
between the two of us.
Between the two of us, round it off to an 80, which is a B minus. Not the best beer, especially considering the price point that you're paying for this. So that'll do it for this beer review, folks. Hope you're all having a great day. Go check out Bumpy's channel if you haven't already. And we'll see you here all in the next one. Till then, cheers, everybody.
Cheers.